Hello, this is an assessment of a Steinway old Model A, which is 185 centimetres long. It's called the old Model A because the newer Model A has 88 notes and this has 85 notes, and obviously is different in many other ways. So it's quite relatively common in terms of the number of Steinways in the UK. There's quite a lot of them are this style, but in fact it's had replaced legs and lyre. So they would normally be elephant legs for this age of piano. It's 1899. Not likely to be anything other than what we call elephant legs, and also the lyre would be turned. And as we look at the music stand, that would also be pierced, so fretted. So this has all been replaced, all been modernised as it were, and it's finished off in a modern poly finish, probably polyurethane rather than polyester, which is hard to know sometimes, but I think also if you look at the music stand there, you might be able to see it's too reflective here and you can't see very well, but there's actually a few lines on it, so I can't seem to get hold of that, but if you saw it live you'd see what I meant. So the keys, 85 notes, and they're very good ivory keys, almost perfect. We notice there's a warping on the lid here. I don't know if you can see the gap there, and the screws are also loose on the top, so that's something that we can try and improve. Now the piano's got a window to the right of me here, and there's a bit of fading starting to happen. Maybe here is where it happens. So obviously keeping the lid down is a good idea so that this doesn't fade unevenly and you end up with, as we mentioned before, the back of the piano there with the fade line here. So at the moment it's not bad at all, and the casework generally is in good condition. Now there is underfloor heating in the house, and I'm told it's kept pretty low. So the piano's not been extensively damaged. Sometimes you can write off a piano quickly like that. I'm just focusing on here on the pedal lyre. You can see it's come unglued. So that's obviously something that needs repairing. That needs to be re-glued back up again. Also, this wobbly piano bench the wobbling might have been accentuated by it drying out with the underfloor heating, but it's actually quite common for these to be wobbly. So on the cheaper range of piano benches, you do get bolt-on legs, and these bolts go loose. So just a matter of tightening them up, and that stops them from wobbling. The more expensive range of stools have a one-piece, have it all integrated. They don't have bolts on it at all. The piano has been restrung and refinished at some stage, but unfortunately the tuning pins are slightly clicky. This is one here that's clicky. I don't know if you're able to hear it, but as I tried to turn it, and that is a great nuisance when you try and tune it, because obviously it's difficult. It's not as clicky as some, but this one certainly is very clicky, and the pins are a bit loose. Now if we listen to the tone of the piano, it's had replacement hammers, and it's quite a reasonable tone round here. Very out of tune and slightly flat. And the tenor is good there, but as we go towards the bass, it suddenly gets tubby. Around this area particularly. So obviously if we're going to change the tuning pins, we would restring the piano anyway, and if it was our piano we'd replace the tuning block as well. I think because if you look down here you can see the pins are getting rather large. They tend to be larger in the bass when it's restrung, and then really you've got to replace the block, because just replacing the pins it won't work. You wouldn't get big enough pins in. You may just about, but we would replace the tuning block if it was our piano, and that's what we recommend to do. It's obviously expensive, but then a Steinway old Model A is a very high quality piano. It's had replacement hammers. There's quite a lot to say about the action. I've written it on the assessment sheet, but don't make the video too long. It's had rollers replaced as well. Hammers, rollers. We normally do hammers, shanks and rollers, so then all the pins here are going to be exactly the same, nice tightness, and other reasons for doing that as well. But generally not terribly bad, but there's lots of regulation to do. So we can manage that with these hammers, I think. They're slightly indented, as you can see, but not so much that we can't keep the same hammers. So there's quite a lot of work to do on this. The essential work, really, I think we've got to replace the rest plank, restring the whole piano, and obviously refinish the frame soundboard at the same time. It was originally sold by Forsyth of Manchester, apparently. They got their little plaque on it. Now, we notice at the end, as we always look at the end of key weighting, how low it is. In this middle C is 20. I rarely come across down weight of 20. I don't know what the up weight is. It can't be much lower than that, because it wouldn't go up at all. So that's obviously completely needs redoing, but the whole piano needs regulating. At the same time, obviously, we reweight the piano. A lot of work to do. Try and obviously put the work in order of importance, but that for us will be important. Though if you don't mind a light touch, then it needn't be done, but it's extremely light. That should be more like 47 grams, not 20 grams, which is quite excessively low. And you do get that from time to time where the weighting is really out. You can see generally they're quite varied, so that needs doing. And then general regulation, the whole thing needs regulating. An isolation mat would be helpful, and that stops the heat rising underneath the piano. But if the underfloor heating's turned down low, and that's very sensible, then it may not be affecting it that much. The bass is tubby, but obviously if we restring the piano, as we would do if we changed the rest plank, then that had new strings on it. So we'll have to look at down bearing and things like that as well. And generally a lot of work to do, but underneath is an excellent instrument, so it's worth doing. So that's an old Steinway Model A, 185 centimetres long, and one of the more, of Steinways, one of the more common ones you find in the UK, and certainly restored beautifully. In this case, the casework has been redone, but the client likes the casework as it is, and of course it was redone because a lot of people prefer this. It's got a beautiful rosewood veneer. I think that may be actually walnut, but coloured in rosewood. Not very good on woods, as you will know from previous videos. Now the main work is obviously the tuning pins jumpy, loose, and replacing the rest plank, and then other work like the pedal lyre, which has come unglued. That's obviously something we can easily sort out. So thank you very much for listening. If you've got a piano you'd like us to assess with a view to restoring it, then we'd be delighted to do so.